So today we have Jaye here with Bottle None. It's a zero waste product line based out of actually Vernon, BC, the Okanagan. Welcome, Jaye.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So these interviews, the purpose is obviously for the users of our app and also folks on the website and heck, even the podcast show to listen and hear more about your brand, why you created it, and get to connect with you as a founder. Because a lot of us want to be loyal, lifelong customers, but it's kind of hard to do so when there's so much out there. So when we get this opportunity to learn about you, it just makes us feel more connected to it. So could you start off by telling us a bit about you, just who you are and if you don't mind?
Yeah, for sure. So I am born and raised in the Okanagan, actually a little tiny town called Lumbee. Went to university for business, did like the corporate thing. I've been an entrepreneur now for about 10 years. I have a 17-year-old son who's graduating high school this year and is a hockey player. And well, thank you. So I'm super into sustainable business. Any company that I start, it always has to have a sustainable aspect. And then I just like kind of figure out how to make money after. I am a chartered herbalist and I've been formulating and making products for, probably about 10 years now. So it was just really exciting to have the opportunity to kind of marry my passion for plastic free and also my knowledge of making natural products.
Okay. Could you tell us more about that? Like, what the heck? You just kind of like dropped that. Like, oh, and I'm an herbalist. Like,
yeah.
How'd you become an herbalist?
Yeah, well, it was just really, I was working kind of a corporate job and I just was following something that I didn't know what. I remember actually I was looking for some sort of a connection to something bigger. And I remember typing into the internet going like, I want a religion, but not a religion. Like I was just looking for some sort of connection with myself and with the earth. And I didn't know what that was. So I quit my job. I rented out my house. I moved back to my small town. I was like living down in the Lower Mainland, moved in with my parents and just started trying to find this thing that was inside of me. And so how that started was studying plant medicine. And what that really did was connect me back to the planet and the rhythms of the earth and the rhythms of our soul. And it just opened up this whole way of being that was just so much more profound than the way I was being prior to that. So plant medicine for me is something that you never stop learning and really kind of changes your perspective on just how to live.
That's really cool. So an herbalist, it's like someone you can go to and say like, hey, I have eczema. Like, what do I do? And then you would basically concoct like some sort of a procedure for them to implement into their life, or maybe even some tonics for them to take, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So like the training that I took was a little bit more formal, like scientific-y and stuff, but like what actually I learned the most and what I really learned about plant medicine is like you learn so much more with your hands on and just kind of the consciousness, like herbal medicine used to be the only way of medicine and now it's really not. So there's not a lot of people that are out there, that are like, hey, I have this issue, let's go see an herbalist. Like it's not really a thing that people do. So I learned, I'm like, okay, well, if I want to kind of implement some knowledge and really share it with the world, let's just do some simple things. So I started making lotions and things like specifically a cream for eczema, a muscle rub, some teas that people could take that were delicious, but then also helped you. And I just started selling them at the farmer's market.
No way. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. So the first time I heard about you was when I started the app like a couple years ago, and it had a different name at the time. And it was kind of like my prototype. And you had a zero waste store at the time. So is that what happened after farmer's market? You went farmer's market and created a zero waste store. Can you tell us about that journey?
Sure. Yeah. So, farmer's market. And then, actually I was living out in Lumbee and we had no organic food out there. So a friend of mine and I started, this not-for-profit community co-op and it still exists out there. It's totally run by volunteers. I think they have one paid employee now. And it's all just like local food. It's this tiny little store. So we just like called a town meeting and got people to be like, yeah, we are into this. And everybody just came together. We started this store. And, from there, I actually started a company called Farmbound. And what we did is delivered organic food to people's homes. So really bridging the gap between the farmer and the customer, the small farmer and the customer. So big farmers have the ability to sell to some of these really great big stores. But to do that, you have to have like proper packaging. Everything has to be sized accordingly. You can never run out. If you have their carrot contracts, you have to have carrots, like period. So if a farmer has like 5 acres or 10 acres, they can't really fulfill those contracts. So they sell at the farmer's market, but there's there's a big erosion happening with the small local grocer that's able to buy from those farmers. 85% of our food actually goes to 5 big companies. So we wanted to kind of bridge the gap. Like, okay, you can't make the farmer's market. You know, it's not super convenient. If you got kids, they're in sports, you can't always get there. You bring cash, haul your kids around. Like, it's not always the best. So we made an online platform. And that company really blew up. So that was called Farmbound. And then I kind of just like, I was doing it for a few years and I'm like, I always need something new. I always need something exciting. And a friend of mine had a coffee shop and she had this room in the back and she's like, what should we do here? I was like, zero waste store. Let's help people reduce their plastic. And it just kind of like snowballed into this whole thing. And it was its own store and we opened it and it was so hard to get it open. It flooded twice. We had a man smash out the windows. We had coolers breaking down. Like, it was just so challenging, but I learned so much about plastic-free living, so much about how to get creative with supply and get people to stuff their plastic-free, what people are looking for. So I ended up selling it to an amazing woman called Jen, and she also has a store in Kelowna or Kamloops now. And so I could really focus on this new brand, Bottle None, where I could take my knowledge of plant medicine, the experience that I had making products, and make an amazing product to service all of these incredible zero waste stores that are popping up all over the world.
Yeah. And so let's talk about your products.
Yeah.
So you have them all with you. Like, we can see in the background, you have all those like trays that are probably full of shampoos and conditioners and stuff. But I just stopped by at Phil's Zero Waste Store or refillery here in Kelowna, and I wanted to pick up some of your products because I know we're both busy ladies, and it's just easier for me to just go down the street and just grab it instead of you ship stuff. So I have your Be Kind. What was it?
Oh, Be Bold. Is that what?
Be Bold.
Be Bold. Yeah.
Yeah. It smells so good. It's got like a nice vanilla smell. And this is catered more for like normal hair, right?
Do you know what? I think that was the custom one that they made that you have, not the Be Bold.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm like looking at the color and I thought it was Be Bold. Yeah. So that's actually a custom one that we got made for Phil so that's for all hair types. And they actually crafted that scent themselves. So we do like a custom batch for them.
That is so cool. It smells so good. Like the vanilla smell. Oh my gosh. I'm a vanilla person. And then I have the other one. This is Ylang Ylang, right? Or
Yeah. So that's the Be Bold conditioner. So that one's got a little bit more moisture. If you have thick hair, yeah. And this one is actually my favorite smell out of all of them is the Ylang, and I think it's Ylang and bergamot.
And it's made for like curly hair. So I'm super excited to try it. I didn't want to try it before because then obviously it's not going to look like a pretty conditioner bar.
Right.
Like I can attest it. Like it smells so good. So can you show us like some of the rest of your products as well?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw we have a ton. You have dry shampoo, and it's like a recycled plastic bottle. And I know the people who are making those recycled plastic bottles. That's really exciting.
The Rogery.
Oh my God. You have like you released on Instagram that you guys just started like a face line as well. So you have like creams, and please show us everything. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'll show you everything that we got going on. So the whole premise of our company, Bottle None, is like to do things package free, and also to really close the loop on manufacturing. How we really want to separate ourselves from other shampoo bar companies is we are not only a female Canadian owned company, but we actually make our bars ourselves and make them locally. There's other companies out there, but they get them co-packed all over the world. And we really wanted to do that here and hold that because we just have so much more control over the process, and we can hold the integrity so much better. So the problem, though, is that all of our ingredients show up in plastic jugs and drums. So we can produce a zero waste product all we like, but what do we do with the waste that we cause during manufacturing? So when we met the folks from the Rogery, we're like, oh my goodness, they can actually take plastic, break it down and 3D print it into packaging for us. And so it's been an evolution as we've been going, but we actually can send the jugs and drums to recycling and get them made. So this is our travel case and soap dish. This is our first iteration that the Rogery has been making. We've been making them for about a year, but we've actually been selling so many of these. It was worth it for us to go and purchase a custom mold to now get them heat molded. So the product, this is actually a prototype, and we'll have the product, our heat mold arrive this week, and we will have these arriving next week, and they're a lot stronger. And the cool thing is we can do custom colors with these. So this is so exciting for us. Actually, nobody's seen these but you right now. You guys are the first people to see these. Oh my gosh, we're so excited. So those are like a bit more flexible. it seems.
Yeah, just a lot stronger. Like the 3D printing was great. It works great, but the lid doesn't stay on as good. And it's just not as strong. So we're like, okay, we can do better. But it was so important to us, number one, to have these made in British Columbia. And number two, to continue to use Canadian recycled plastic. We have a huge plastic problem, and we need to come up with creative solutions of things that we can make out of this plastic that can be reused and reused over again, and it's not going to waste.
Especially if it's your own plastic waste.
Yes.
Going into creating product for your product. Like, I love that. That's so cool. You go, girl. Gross contributor. Like, that's so amazing.
Yeah, like that. And that was one of the concepts that I really learned in the process of opening up the zero waste store, was closing the loop. Like, what pieces are we using and how can we reuse them? So it was really important for us to do that. And we are making and selling so many of these. We are so proud to be purchasing additional recycled plastic from our system. Like, there's no way we could, like, these are going so well, we need to buy more. So this is really good. And yeah, this can be used over and over again. So shampoo bar, of course, the really cool thing about the shampoo bar is how long it lasts, but you need to let it dry. So in this travel case, it comes with a drying rack, and you want it to have tons of airflow. So you don't want to store it in these day to day. You actually want to let them sit on the drying rack, and then the new drying racks have like holes so it drains out.
I love that, because I have a couple facial bars right now. And that's my problem, is I saw that they were starting to like develop mold or something like that on the outside. So I actually cut them with a knife. They're not yours, but it doesn't really matter. It's natural. It's natural.
Totally.
So yeah, I like shaved it from the outside, and then I realized that I should just like keep it on the lid and get rid of the rest of the container, because it just makes it
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to store it, and they can get kind of gummy over time. And the cool thing about these products, and another reason why we're so excited about bar products, is we've made liquid shampoo in the past, and it's actually about 85% water. So you take the thing that makes it bubbly, that washes your hair, mix it with water, then you have to add a chemical thickener. Then now, because you're mixing water with oil, you have to have a preservative. So that's why, if these are sitting in water, why they can develop mold, because we actually don't need to use a preservative in these. If they're drained properly, they won't go mold. Mold is when oil and water get mixed together in higher than a 20% quantity. So then for bottled shampoo, like, you're putting all that extra weight, and you have to put it in a bottle, and you have to put it in a label, and then you have to ship all that extra weight around. The environmental impact of that is so much greater when you can just have this product that does the exact same thing without all of those additional resources put into it.
And chemicals, the unnecessary chemicals.
Unnecessary chemicals, unnecessary water use, unnecessary carbon footprint of the extra shipping. Like, this is just such a better sustainable option. And then the other really cool thing about these bars is their pH balance, which means they're salon grade. There's some other ingredients out there, which they're great for an entry-level shampoo. Like, if they can be a little bit cheaper, it's called SLS and SCS. They're sulfate, so they're not color safe. And then they have a pH of 9, and you'll notice those bars because they'll have like little prills in them. And they can pH balance the area around the prills, but you're still getting a pH of 9 on your hair, which means that it can leave the cuticle open and have the natural oils escape and then damage to go in. And over time, you might wash it for a bit and it's fine, but over time you'll notice damage in your hair. Like, that's kind of the difference between a salon grade shampoo and a more affordable shampoo that you get at the drugstore. So these retailing for $18, you get 2 to 3 bottles out of it. So you're actually comparing it to a $6 bottle. And the reason it can be more affordable is because you're not having all those additional resources, the bottle, the chemical ingredients, the preservatives, like, those all cost money and add to the cost of your shampoo.
And that isn't something I ever really thought of before, because I have curly hair. So I just assumed I would always get split ends and I'd have to deal with it. And split ends are like, oh my God, my Everest. I can't even, don't even get me started with my split ends. And I'm really conscious of like the pH balance in my body, obviously. And a lot of us like test our pee and have pH pee strips. But like, when I saw on your website the whole pH balance with the hair, I was like, oh my God, that's something I've never actually thought of before. So I'm really glad that you like brought that up. So how do you pH balance it? Can you take us through that? You understand?
So for hair, you want to be and your skin, you want to be a pH of between 4.5 and 5.5. pH balancing is done. It's very important that you're able to melt the product down entirely so that you can have consistent pH throughout the whole product. And then you can use ingredients like citric acid that just help bring the pH down. The product that we use, the base product, is actually already a pH of 6. So we actually don't have a long way to go with the pH, which is nice. But some of the other sulfate ingredients that are a little bit more harsh, if you're to bring them down, it's a lot more work, and they don't melt as easy. So yeah, we were very conscious about the ingredients we chose, not only for their environmental impact, but that they're going to make your hair healthy too. It's one thing. I know I've used natural products for years, and if there's too much work, if there's too much of a gap between the traditional product and this natural product, people give up after a while. So it was really important to make sure it worked.
Totally. I get like, I was worried at first, like when I first started using natural products, like, am I going to get dandruff? Am I going to get this? Am I going to get that? Because my hair's got a system going. And I finally found a system, and now I have to stop using plastic containers because of my values. Like,
right, yeah.
This definitely gets me really excited. Let's take us through some more products.
Yeah, some more products. Yeah, sorry. The shampoo is kind of like our flagship, and it's a little bit new for people, so I know I kind of took a lot of time for that. But this is our other product. So this is our dry shampoo, and again, this is 3D printed in the containers from recycled plastic. We're also releasing a refill option. So we have 2 formulas, one for light hair and one for dark hair, and then the lid will just pop off, and you can actually refill it. Oh, I just got my nails done, so I can't really get the lid off. So the lid will come off, and then you can just keep refilling your container. With 3D printing, they aren't just like, you just have to be careful not to
squeeze. The powder? Because you said one for light hair, one for dark. I kind of want to see
it. Can you see the difference? I don't know. Can you see that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we make this with we made it with charcoal and cocoa butter or cocoa powder to get the dark color in. And then we also, because I'm an herbalist, we put some herbs in there like marshmallow roots and sarsaparilla that are really great for the hair. So it's not just like okay, we're going to get the oil out, but we're also going to like nourish your scalp and nourish your hair follicles at the same time.
I love that. That is so cool. Yeah. Hero. What about the other?
So this is the light hair formula. Yeah, exactly. And these are also silica and talc free. So silica can be used in dry shampoo, and it kind of helps add that texture. Like if you've ever used those kind of volumizing powders. But there's just some information out there, like places like Whole Foods and stuff don't really like to see it on their ingredients list, that they're concerned that if you inhale it, that it can cause problems. So we made it silica and talc free.
Yeah, and talc, it's always hard to know where it's sourced from and whether it's going to not have asbestos in it.
Exactly, yeah. So we just erred on the side of caution and made a really great product without those ingredients.
That's awesome.
So next, want to go on to another one?
Please. I'm excited for the facial stuff because I haven't seen it.
All right, we'll leave that one the best for last. So these are our deodorants. My sister and I, of course, have been making deodorants for a very long time. So we did 3 formulas. This is citrus. This is our most popular. And so how these are different than other deodorants you might find on the market is we actually use zinc and baking soda. So it kills the bacteria that causes the odor rather than just trying to disguise it with perfume or essential oils. So sometimes you'll get like these natural deodorants and they're like really smell heavy and you put them on, but after a while, your bacteria from your underarms gets contaminated on the bar, and then you kind of are putting it on and you're like, it's just like lavender and BO. Like it's not really actually like neutralizing your smell. Yeah, totally. I've been there too. I'm like, oh. So these actually have natural ingredients that help kill the bacteria. So you can actually be smelly, and if you need a touch up throughout the day, you can put it on and it'll neutralize your smell. And then we chose 100% compostable packaging. So it's a tough one to kind of do package free. There are bars out there where you can just use on your hands, but like, natural deodorant, sometimes you got to put it in your purse. Like, what are you going to do about that, or take it on travel? So we made this one in compostable packaging.
Thank you for that.
It's nice. It's it's a little bit different to use. We got to push up at the bottom, but once you get used to it, well, same. So yeah, Earth. This is our strongest formula. This one we've added a few extra ingredients to kind of kick it up a little bit. I really love the smell of this one. It's super yummy. And then we have this one's called Bloss. Yeah, exactly. If you need a little bit more strength, this one's for you. And then this one here is called Blossom, and this is one for sensitive skin. So rather than the baking soda, we use ingredient magnesium, so it's a little bit more gentle. I was actually shocked thinking that it wouldn't work as well, and this one works amazing. Yeah. And again, we've brought the pH down in this, so sometimes folks with sensitive skin that do have issues with baking soda can even use our baking soda formula because we've pH balanced it for the skin, so it's less irritating.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. Are we at the one that I really want to see?
We're at the skincare. Yeah, so this just dropped yesterday. We've been working on this one for so long. We were so excited about this. We have made high-end skincare for a long time with lots of really great ingredients like hyaluronic acid and stuff like that for moisture and vitamin C serums. But what we really found a gap in the market was the zero waste skincare was a more simple formula that's really affordable. So we took some of our high-end ingredients and we made a super affordable skincare line. So 2 steps, easy peasy. So this is our face bar. The bubbles on this are so creamy. Like I couldn't believe it. We formulated it quite a bit differently than our shampoo bars. And it's just like this beautiful creamy bubble. Avoid the eyes. It still will, not super awesome on the eyes. And then this is our adorable face stick. Aren't these cute? We're so proud of this packaging. It was like, took a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. So basically you just put it on your skin and you do like 5 swipes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you just massage it in.
Oh, I love that.
You get your moisture. Yeah. And then, so this is completely compostable packaging. So zero waste skincare. So we have 2 lines. This one is normal to dry. And then we have this one, which is normal to oily.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get so excited over compostable containers. That's like my
big. I know. It honestly too, when these show up, like,
for anything.
Oh my God, these are so fun. When these show up, we're just so excited about them. Like they're adorable. So yeah, and we've also put some like sodium lactate and HAs and stuff like that into the skincare, neem oil, things like that, that will really help with like oily prone and acne prone skin. And then also if you just like need a bit of moisture. So we've taken our knowledge from the higher end skincare lines and then put it into a more affordable 2-step system.
Awesome. Do you also have like face creams and stuff you're thinking about developing in the future with like hyaluronic acid and all those kind of things?
Yeah, so we have done that, and we had another brand called Bare Nature, which we recently sold. So if you want to check them out, barenature.ca, that has more like the high-end skincare line with the hyaluronic acids, the vitamin C, which in the creams and stuff like that. So that's where I would send folks that are looking for more that high end. The bottle none, this company is the premise is no bottle. So which also means like no liquids, so no preservatives, no anything like that, which means we can't do like a cream. A cream is an oil and a liquid emulsified together. And so
I love that.
So we won't be doing any creams under this brand.
You've literally switched to, I'm going all zero waste and I'm going to own this. You go, girl. So one thing you didn't mention yet is your business partner. Can we talk about her?
Oh, yeah, of course. My sister is my business partner. Yeah, so we've been formulating products together. She was the owner of Bare Nature for a very long time. And it's so fun to have your sister and your best friend as your business partner. Like we complement each other so well. She does all of the operations, all of the marketing stuff. Like she is just like, she's amazing.
That's beautiful. I mean, I've seen a few of like the social media videos of her like taking us through the back with like all the racks and all like the new products. Yes. It's so exciting to feel like you're in there and you're involved and you get to like see the back end. It's just so cool. So she's doing a great job. And then let's talk about like the future.
Yeah.
So what do you have in store for the future? Because this is so exciting. We can go to zero waste stores and we can buy these products. You can buy direct through you, and you're giving us Sustainable Life app users coupon codes that we can buy direct through you, and you can ship direct to us. But please share with us, like, where are you going with this?
Yeah, next step. So originally we were selling to primarily to boutique shops, which we will continue to sell, and we sell to them package free. So this is what a boutique shop will order. We these little logs, and so they're package free, and then they display them in the glass jars. Yeah. But we're like, how do we reach the everyday person? How do we get into some of these bigger stores? So we've actually designed, but then, we struggle because it's like, okay, if you put it in a box, like it's still got packaging, but then we really sat down and, okay, what is our values? What is our core purpose? And it's to reduce plastic. So we've actually created a retail box, which is printing next week. Again, so much work getting this package designed, and we've landed some pretty big accounts, which I don't want to announce until we're actually in the stores, but we've, our bars are going to be in some stores that people are going to recognize, and they're going to be packaged, but it'll introduce them to the brand and they'll get them to start thinking about package free, which is really exciting for us.
And how are you packaging them? Is it like compostable? Is it the?
Oh yeah. So it'll all be in post-consumer recycled boxes. So these bars will go into like a recycled material box, so they'll be able to be recycled or composted.
Oh, that's so amazing. Well, congratulations. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And how can people contact you? So obviously they can find you on Sustainable Life app under the online shopping section, and then they can enter your brand name in the local retail section, find all the local refill stores or boutiques that sell your product, and then maybe even these big stores once we know who they are.
Yeah.
And like, but aside from that, like social media, if you can share with us your handles, your website, all that fun stuff.
Sure. Yeah, our Canadian website is bottlenone.ca, and then our social media handle is just bottlenone. So yeah, follow us on social media. A really important thing to us though, starting this brand, like totally buy direct from us. If you don't have a shop in your own community that carries our bars, but if you do have a shop in your community that carries our bars, please support your small local store. This is what we built this company based on, is supporting small local business. And so we'd love to see if people could support them first.
Awesome. Well, I think that's a really good final thought. Do you have anything else that you want to share?
No, I think I talked a lot. So
Well, thank you so much for your time. This has been a pleasure.
yeah, thank you so much. Pleasure as well.